Here, this is Lard Potato, and this is, well, what if Yuji Itadori was the reincarnation of Kakashi Hatake and Garou? So, Kakashi Hatake being from Naruto, from the Naruto world, and Garou being from the One Punch Man universe also. If you don't know those two, then I am surprised because yeah. But whatever. So I'll explain Kakashi. Kakashi actually this Kakashi reincarnation is gonna be the basically DMS, so double molecule Sharingan. Yes, it's gonna be that Kakashi. And of course, it's not gonna be Hokage Kakashi because I think Hokage Kakashi is weaker than DMS Kakashi. But I'm probably wrong or something. But I'm just saying. Besides, DMS Kakashi is cooler than, well, Hokage Kakashi. I'm just saying. What's it called? Also, what's it called? Garou is basically the hero hunter from One Punch Man who hunts heroes, and yes, and of course, he's a walking, talking Sharingan. Do I have to explain more? Probably. He kicks the shit out of mostly every S-rank hero. And, well, yeah. I mean, he can probably kick the shit out of all the S-rank heroes in One Punch Man right now in the manga. Because he already has, like, final form. He's like in this form, but yeah. But not the point. Now, we go into, well, Yuji. Now, the whole thing with Sukuna still happens. Sukuna still kills Yuji, and Yuji still switches his body just to kill Sukuna, so yeah. Of course, we go into, well, Yuji's body kind of laying on like a platform and all that before Shoko decides to do surgery and takes his body parts and all that. But yeah. Now, of course, we're Gojo's still pissed, and yeah. Ichi is still there just being nervous as fuck. And of course, he's nervous around Gojo, and yeah, he's like, yeah, how should I say? He's nervous around any grown up, like, really? You're a grown ass man also, but okay. I should not roast Ichi because Ichi, I mean, he was there for, what's it called? Itadori, so I mean, yeah. But yeah, so we go into, well, right. What's it called? We go into, what's it called? Well, Shoko is just about to do surgery and then telling, what's it called? Gojo and Ichi to leave or whatever. Because, yeah, she's about to start doing it. Until, well, Yuji wakes up. Now, of course, what happened in the Mindscape? Well, not what happened in the Mindscape. Actually, what did happen in the Mindscape. Now, of course, Yuji did meet what's it called, Sukuna. But something happened. When Sukuna was kicking the shit out of Yuji and all that. Because, yeah, Yuji was right now laying on the ground and all that. Well, not laying on the ground. On the water right now, getting sit on by what's called Sukuna. But Sukuna, when he looks into the darkness and all that, because he wasn't really staring at what's it called Yuji and all that, he looks into the darkness and sees something complete different. Two red eyes with different, well, I mean not different, with what's it called weird what's it called patterns and silverish hair, while the other one having also silverish kind of whitish hair. But kind of having golden eyes. This is where, well, he only sees him for a brief second until he gets kicked off what they call, well, Yuji. Now, of course, this is where he gets kicked off, but then also murdered into two pieces. Well, he didn't notice this, but lightning appeared and cut him into two pieces, while the other what's it called, figure decides to kick him down really hard into the fucking ground. And yeah, of course, this is where the other one decides to use, well, an attack like fire style. And yeah, this is basically the reincarnations of, well, Kakashi and Garou. Now, of course, Yuji did kind of pass out and then wake up and all that. Now, how did it heal his heart? Well, you see here, Garou, he never, well, if he's close to death, he can, like, heal really fast. Because that means he's breaking his limits. So, of course, with that happening, Yuji's like heart regen really fast because of Garche. What's it called? Regeneration of being somewhat like a monster, somewhat like that. But yeah, his monster cells are kind of reacting really fast with Yuji, and since they've been there since day one of Yuji being born, this is where the monster cells are pretty fast in healing Yuji in any difficult wound. You would think it would be Sukuna that would heal his wound. I mean, somewhat. But Yuji can what's called recover from any major scar from Garde. So yeah. Now, of course, this is where we go into, well, the outside. Now, of course, the deep, what's it called, gash is on his like chest and all that is gone. Now, of course, this is where he kind of wakes up. And of course, is where, well, of course, Shoko, Gojo, and, well, Ichi are all shocked. And of course, is where, well, before Shoko can even get a shirt and tell what's it called, Yuji to wear it, Yuji felt like something was kind of getting up from his throat. And of course, this is where he kind of vomits. This is where 2 fingers falls down from the vomit. This is where Shoko, Gojo, and even Ichi are shocked. Those are Sukuna's fingers. This is where Shoko says, huh, seems that Sukuna or Yuji's body just decides to, well, seems like react to each other, and I guess the reaction of Yuji's body must have then not fused with something. She was confused. She didn't know what was actually happening. So this is where, well, Gojo was like, what the hell? But that can't be true, can it? This is where Shoko says, was a strange case because, well, Yuji was the first one to actually be able to contain Sukuna and be able to contain him. Now, it seems that his, what's it called, body, what's it called? Well, what's it called? Refuse, or what's it called? Refuse Sukuna's, what's it called, fingers, and decide to probably vomit them up. This is where, well, Gojo says, nah, that can't be true. Maybe he was just hurt. Then he thinks about it, but then they headed to the pack, and this is where he grabs the fingers and he says, Yuji, I need you to open your mouth again. This is where Yuji says, what? This is where, well, Gojo was about to make him swallow it again until Shoko grabs him from the arm and says, what are you doing? This is where Gojo says, we gotta make sure that's what's it called. It's not just him just because he just vomit or whatever. This is where when he tries to put it in what's it called, Yuji's mouth by forcibly, this is where, well, Yuji reacted really fast and slapped the fingers away because of an instinct from, well, Garge. So, of course, this is where, well, Yuji kind of jumped away, kind of flipping, and says, what are you doing? And he looks at Gojo, kind of angry and annoyed. This is where, well, Gojo says, fast reaction. It seems that either Sukuna might have woken something, or Yuji just his body refuses Sukuna's help. Very interesting. I guess it might be interesting as hell. This is where this Shoko decides to get a shirt and to give to Yuji to wear and all that. But yeah, this is where Shoko says, "Great, I have to put him that he's alive but has no more Sukuna." This is where Gojo says, "How about you just say that he died, but you managed to recover the Sukuna fingers because Yuji's body refused the Sukuna fingers." This is where she thinks about it and says, "Why? What do you want from him exactly? He doesn't have Sukuna's fingers no more. What are you gonna do to him exactly?" "Well, train him, of course." This is where she says, "Train him. Train him." Huh. Why? This is where, well, Gojo says, "Well, he does have potential. He still said he wanted to save a lot of people, even though he doesn't have Sukuna no more. So, why not?" This is where she narrowed her eyes and then she says, "Whatever, do whatever you want with the boy." This is where Eugene's eyes, they did kind of, without them even noticing. Well, I mean, one thing, Ichi noticed Eugene's eyes. Well, one eye kind of like go into red, then go into, well, the, what's it called, MS, and then turn gray. But this is where Eugene kind of like reversed the cycle, just becoming red, and then just stop and becoming back to normal eyes, to his brownish eyes. This is where Eugene doesn't know what just happened, but yeah, it looked like everything slowed down for a second. But yeah. Now, is Eugene gonna be able to do DMS? Yes, in the near future. He just is confused with his abilities right now. But of course, well, so of course, well, Yuji, he is, well, kind of brought along with what to call Gojo, and Gojo is like saying, "So Yuji, we're gonna be training." This is where Yuji thinks about it and says, "Why though?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "Because even though you don't have Sukuna's fingers, you're still going to learn how to protect yourself from other things." But yeah, don't you want to save people? What's it called? Yuji says, "I guess so." Yeah, you know what? Yeah. This is where, well, Gojo sees the still smile on Yuji and all that. But yeah. But of course, we go into, well, the whole, what's it called, Yuji kind of watching the movie still. But of course, when Gojo tries to teach him about cursed energy and all that, this is where, well, Yuji kind of activates his Sharingan on instant to actually see the flow of, well, the energy. This is where, well, Gojo was interested in Yuji's eyes. Yuji's eyes were now red. Red with tomoes in it. This is where Gojo then asked Yuji, "Why do your eyes look like that?" Yuji says, "Huh, my eyes? I thought they were normal." "What do you mean they're not normal?" He looks for a mirror and tries to, like, find it. He finds, well, what's it called? Not even a mirror. Gojo, like, stops him for a second and then uses, like, what's it called? He pulls out, like, a mirror. Because I feel like Gojo would be the type of person to kind of try to look professional a little bit. But just annoy people with the mirror light. Because the light hits the mirror and just he wants to annoy people. So, of course, well, he kind of just, like, gives it to Yuji. And Yuji's right now just looking at his eyes and he's saying, "What the hell? Huh? Gojo, when can I do that?" This is where Gojo says, "I don't fucking know. You expect me to know? It's your body." "Wait, what can you see when I'm using curse energy?" "Like a flowish kind of greenish, but like not greenish, a bluish kind of color." "Okay. Huh, that's interesting. How should I say? Okay." This is where Yuji decides to use some of what's it called, the same kind of technique, well, not technique, the same flow of energy, of curse energy, at the can. Because, well, Gojo didn't use, what's it called, technique to the other can. So, of course, when Yuji tries, it does crushes it and all that. And this is where Gojo says, "Did you copy?" This is where Yuji says, "I guess so." I'm so confused. This is where Gojo says, "Whatever. Okay, I'm guessing you already learned how to do curse energy from me just showing you. But we still need you to learn how to do it by seeing this teddy bear, and if you don't keep putting curse energy, this teddy bear is going to punch you in the face." That's where Yuji still says, "What's with the odd, cute, and terrifying bear still?" Gojo says, "This thing is cute." Okay, never mind. I've been seeing way too many weird things. First your eyes are now red and now you were able to copy. I don't know what's happening. So of course where Gojo leaves Yuji to watch movies while he goes with Ichi. And of course he still fights against Jogo and all that. But of course, when what's it called, Gojo still goes to get Yuji from him watching movies. Yuji's hair has fully now became kind of whitish and silver color. This is where Gojo was surprised. He kind of just says, "Yuji, your hair." Yuji says, "Huh? My hair?" He kind of says, "What do you mean?" He kind of turns around. Well, the bear even punching him. The bear hasn't even really punched him the whole freaking time Yuji's been watching, well, what's it called, movies. He is kind of very, very somewhat calm. He has this calm personality. And, well, if the bear tries to punch him, he also has this kind of murderous personality, which the bear can actually kind of sense a little bit. And is kind of just sleeping, somewhat. So, of course, basically Garju's Kakashi's, personalities kind of are like abilities, skills, and kind of things are actually merging with, well, Yuji at this point. So, of course, Gojo's confused with his silverish whitish hair that Yuji has. But, of course, he just tells Yuji to come along, and yeah. Of course, when Yuji goes along to see, well, Jogo and Gojo still uses what's called Domain Expansions, Infinity Void. Still beats the shit out of Jogo. But yeah. After that, what's it called? The tree will still attack Yuji, but this is where Yuji goes through hand signs and says lightning style, lightning murder, because for some reason he has that as well as a memory. What's actually coming towards Yuji is basically all the jutsus that Kakashi has copied, and those are a lot of fucking memories, lots of memories. But Yuji doesn't see the person who's using them. Mostly the person in front of who Kakashi fought against. So yeah. So of course Yuji is confused. But he's just able to copy it and use it as his own jutsu. Now of course he does use lightning murder on the tree. And it does kind of burn the tree. Now this is where Gojo's surprised to see lightning. Yuji is using lightning right now. But he can't see any curse energy, or not see, sense any curse energy from it. So of course he's confused what is happening to Yuji. But we go into somewhat a time skip after that. We go into, well, Nanami still kind of meeting, not Kakashi, Gojo and what's it called, Yuji. But Yuji kind of changed his clothing a little bit. Yuji kind of what's called, he wears a mask, still like what they call Kakashi, to cover up his face and all. Well, he kind of wants to wear like a headband to kind of cover up one of his eyes because it kind of feels natural to him for some reason. But of course, well, Gojo just lets it because it's now for his what's called. Well, his clothing for like for being a Jujutsu sorcerer and all that, instead of being red, it's actually now kind of greenish color because of like Kakashi's vest and all that. But yeah. But of course, everything else is still dark, kind of black or blue, whatever you like to call it. But yeah, for some reason, it kind of looks like dark blue to me. But I don't know. This is where Gojo was surprised to kind of get a request from Yuji and all that. With those things change. This is where he doesn't mind it kind of getting the request. But yeah. But that happened. Of course, when that happened, Yuji kind of also says, so where can I also go in Tokyo to kind of change my name? When Gojo heard this, he kind of looks at Yuji and says, what do you mean change your name? What are you even trying to change your name to? Kakashi Hatake? This is where Gojo says, why? I don't know. It's just something that came up to my head. I don't know what's wrong, but yeah. This is where Gojo says, no, we're just gonna keep you as Yuji. And of course, is where Yuji's kind of sad, but yeah. Now, of course, is where Nanami still meets Yuji, but Yuji kind of has, like, not that whole, what's it called, serious personality, kind of a little bit relaxed, but still always on guard. Because of, like, Kakashi and guard just kind of relaxed in, well, situations like these to kind of meet new people and all that. Or, yeah. And of course, Nanami actually sees this and he's kind of surprised. He thought that the kid was gonna be like, yes sir, yes this, yes mister, whatever, yes sensei or whatever. And of course, when Nanami did see Yuji for the first time, he really thought the first thing that came up to mind, Gojo had a son? And of course, he said that out loud, and this is where Gojo kind of looks at Nanami and says, no, I didn't have a son. Nanami says, then why is there a kid with white silverish hair? And of course, well, how should I say, covering up one eye. He definitely looks like your son. Gojo says, I didn't have a son. Uh-huh. Okay, hey kid, how old are you? 15. You definitely had a son. Okay, who did you have a son with, Gojo? Gojo looks at Nanami with a straight face, but you really can't see his eyes, and says, I didn't have a kid, god damn it. Yuji, stop covering up your goddamn, I think it was right eye. So yeah, your right eye. This is where Yuji says, but it feels natural. Can I just keep it like that? This is where, well, Gojo says, fine, whatever. This is where, well, Nanami says, okay. I guess you want me to train him and how to go around with kind of like killing curses and all that. This is where Gojo says, okay, yes. So, good luck, Yuji. This is where Nanami says, okay, let's go, Gojo-san. This is where Gojo says, stop for a second before leaving the door, and says, he's not my son. God damn it. So, yeah. It's also kind of annoying with what's it called, Shoko, because Shoko also does say it kind of looks like what's it called, Gojo's son. But yeah, that's because, well, Yuji's hair's kind of changed and all that. Of course, Yuji doesn't really care that much or anything. He's really relaxing, yeah. Gojo, on the other hand, is kind of annoyed every time that they basically mention Yuji being his son, which he's not. He actually like thinks about it first, and then says, nope, he's not my son. No. Nah. Because, what's it called? Gojo is like 28 right now. So, of course, he would have been like 13 if he had a kid or something like that. But, yeah. But, nah. Gojo doesn't have a son. But, yeah. Doesn't work well. Gojo's like straight up annoyed with people. But, yeah. Now, of course, this is where we go into Yuji kind of talking with Nanami and all. And, of course, when the incident still happened, is where, well, instead of, well, Yuji kind of using, well, cursed energy into his eyes, he uses the Sharingan. And actually sees the footprints very easily. Because, well, he can put chakra into his eyes and still see cursed energy. Which is surprising him. He doesn't know why, but whatever. Of course, this is where he does lift up, well, his headband and all, the headband that's covering up his right eye, but he can still turn what's it called both eyes into a Sharingan. But he managed to learn to, well, transform one eye into a Sharingan or the other eye into a Sharingan. But yeah, of course, this is where Nanami is surprised to see, well, Yuji's eyes turn one of his eyes turn red and all that, and with some patterns and all that. And this is where Nanami says, definitely Gojo-san. Definitely. This is where Nanami's, seeing how, well, what's it called, Yuji's kind of like going to this trail and all that. And of course, they still fight the curses, but this is where, well, Nanami is still telling him about, like, lecture and all that while in battle. And this is where, well, Nanami says, watch out, a curse. Before even saying that, before the curse bearer can even hit Yuji, Yuji turns around and already hits him with, what's it called, an elbow. But also kind of deflects what they call the curse spirit's attacks by using what's called water rock smash. Let me think about this. Water stream rock smashing fist. So that's what he used to deflect the attacks, and then hit him right in the chest, blowing back the curse spirit back. And of course, where Yuji saw that, well, what's it called, Nanami did kind of still lecture him and all that. And of course, well, what's it called, Yuji still kind of managed to hear the lecture. Also, Nanami was kind of surprised with what's it called, the attacks, what's it called, that Eugene did. And when he did ask Eugene if he did her was Ka, well, Nanami? Not, of course, is where Eugene nodded and says you were talking about how, talking about, well, your special ability can actually distract the enemy. This is where, well, Nanami nodded, and he really surprised that Eugene managed to catch that. As it were, well, before Nanami was about to like finish it because he was kind of surprised with Eugene with the cursed spirit. This is where Eugene says, "Stop! Don't kill it." This is where Nanami says, "What do you mean?" This is where Eugene says, "Look at his arm. I don't know about you, but I never seen a cursed spirit with, well, how should I say, a watch. Unless the cursed spirit just went to the goddamn store just to go buy himself a watch and then get murdered the next thing. I don't know if that's even a thing. Can even cursed spirits think when they're going to go get fashion or whatever?" That's where Nanami thinks about it and says, "That is true." That's where he does take a picture and does like send what's called the two cursed spirits to what's called Shoko. Shoko tells that they are basically human cursed spirits just turned into, like recently and all. And yeah. But of course of like the shape of it, so whatever bullshit happened. But of course, well, Nanami is surprised and he nods and all that. And then Shoko does tell what's it called Eugene that, or she really doesn't call Eugene normally, just Eugene and all that. She calls him Kakashi because that's what he always wanted to be called. And of course, she says Kakashi just realize that they are not, what's it called? They are not human no more. Just don't think of it like that. Of course, well, for some reason, Eugene, he's not surprised. He's like, it doesn't feel what's it called. He doesn't feel sad or anything. He still feels sad, of course, but he doesn't feel bad enough, like how he was in John Canton. He feels like he has done this before. Kill a real human. Like, what's it called? A real person. Murder him in cold blood. Because that's what Kakashi did when he was in the root ambush, when he was in the ambush, like off whatever, when he was a jonin, and yeah, of course Kakashi did the same thing in killing people. Well, somewhat killing people, mostly hurting them into the killing villains and monsters, but he never did kill what's called a hero. He mostly beat the shit out of them and then showed them who's the true fucking god here. But yeah. But of course, that's when Eugene's not really surprised if he did kill a human. This is where Nanami is actually surprised that the kid is not even nervous, sick, or anything. You would think that Eugene will already be kind of crying and sad about that. But no, he's not. Which kind of unnerved him about that. But yeah. So, of course, we're how should I say? Eugene is, what's it called, just not even afraid of it. He was like wondering why he wasn't afraid of it. He has been getting more memories of what's called Kakashi, but also guards at the same time. Techniques that he never used or never actually learned. And of course, skills that he's more flexible and more faster. And of course, has more strength. But of course, this is where when he adds chakra, something called chakra, into his legs, he can climb up trees, he can walk on water, and yeah. But he never actually learned this anywhere. But he keeps getting memories of Kakashi and Garge. Of course, he doesn't understand why, but yeah. But we go into what's it called Eugene, kind of with Ichi, still going to go talk to what's it called Chinpei. Yeah, wait, not Chinpei. Yeah, Chinpei. Blah. What am I talking about? Wait. So of course with Junpei and yeah. Now of course where Ichi still lets go of the curse energy, but yeah, I mean not curse energy, curse spirits. Now I'm feeling kind of tired, so I'm actually gonna leave it here. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potatoes eat potato. But yeah, potato. Yeah, I don't know, potato.